right, I would like to call the October 17th, 2023 Library Board meeting to order at 5:04 p.m. according to my watch. Everybody would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Brittany, would you please call the roll?
Yes. All right. Gail.
I'm here.
Alderperson Schrader. Here. Michelle. Here. Barb.
Here.
Nancy.
Here.
Phyllis.
Here.
Carrie. Here. Tracy.
Here.
Tony.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay. Are we all? No one's here?
Yes. We're all here.
Everybody.
Good for us.
Okay.
Are they supposed to be up on the screen? Oh my gosh. Yep. Just wondering, maybe something changed.
All right.
There they are.
Okay, the statement of public notice, please.
This meeting was noticed in accordance with the open meeting law.
All right, and this would be the time for public comment. Not hearing or seeing anyone, we can move down to the motion to approve the consent agenda, which includes the approval of minutes of August 15th of this year, as well as the September 2023 financials.
I'll move.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Okay, thanks, Nancy. Any discussion? I always have one, just if you could give a quick little report on kind of the state of the union in terms of our budget worksheet. It looks like we're in pretty good shape here. That would be on page 12, and that's given in the upper.
Yep, packet page 12, yes, things are going well. I would say looking at it, the budget line item that we're most over in is gas and electric because the rate changed on September 1st and I was not aware of that at the time. However, we had so many staff vacancies this year as we were retiring and hiring and things like that that's going to even out, so please don't be worried about that. We'll be fine.
I do believe they're talking about another increase too.
I will keep an eye on that.
Yeah. Everything's going up. Come on. I do have one question on page 6. The purchase of a computer replacement for the patrons. I just want to know, how often does that happen?
Every 6 years, I think you said.
Yeah, it's about every, let me just page 6.
Right up at the top.
Figure out page.
Computer replacement.
I mean, I know exactly what you're talking about, but I'd like to stare at it for a second. I'm not getting it on 6.
No, it's on under Amazon Capital Services.
Oh, page 5? That's 5.
I've got it on 6.
Oh, okay. Do any of you have the old packet without my director report?
There you
If
go.
so, the new ones are right there.
Well,
Yeah.
We just picked it up. We just picked it up, right?
No, but that didn't have the report, her report in it, so there's an
I can
insert
take it
that was,
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. That was, okay, but yeah, so it only happens every 6 or so years. Frankly, I think they were a little over 6 years. We definitely got our life out of them. That was an IT recommendation. They were still operating on Windows 7, which was no longer supported. Now, I know. So it's nice. The computers are much faster. We won't have to do it again for a while. We will get our money's worth out of these too. So
That was one, right? One.
one computer?
One computer.
No. You mean the 4,172? No, that was 15 computers.
Oh, see, that's what caught me, because I didn't see a number there. I saw the one invoice. But
That's a lot.
Oh, yeah. No,
that's
15. Yeah, all the computers brand new monitors, new keyboards and mice, yeah. They're all nice. They're good.
Yeah, well, and that was a nice picture, and he was on Facebook, where you had posted that with all of them lit like blue, you know, and that was,
It's the computers are so much faster now, and frankly, the large monitors for people's eyesight, you know, like we have older patrons who use the computers, and it's just every once in a while.
Hey, I resemble it.
It's nice. It's nice to be able to offer them the latest version of Microsoft Office as well, things like that. So.
And it was nice on Facebook. A lot of people commented.
I missed that. Oh, yeah. Okay. Good.
And you know what? I'm so old, I was looking at this one for my notes. I put my notes on the original one.
Sure.
And I'm like, what?
On page 8, under card number service, it says annual deep freeze. What does that mean?
I know, doesn't it? It's not as cool as it sounds. Deep freeze is a software that allows computers to get wiped. We use them on the public computers so that if somebody puts malware on it or something gross or yucky, or if they accidentally open an attachment. One time I opened a Santa Claus picture and it had a Trojan horse virus on it, so like people hide, you know, bad things on innocent looking things. Anyway, it won't infect the network. You can restart the computer and it just wipes it back to factory settings.
Okay.
Our patrons find it really reassuring. So like if someone's doing their taxes on the public computer and they're like, I don't know if I saved a file on here. What if it's, you know, what if the cookies remember my login for, you know, XYZ? We just tell them just restart the computer and it'll completely wipe it. So
nice.
Yeah, it's a nice assurance for them.
Okay. Page 7 for me, first impressions, there was a donation of something. And I'm on the first one that we picked up, so I don't know what the page.
What is the header?
First impressions?
First impressions.
So it's on 6.
Oh, yes. First impressions.
It just says donations.
Thank you. Yep.
So, yeah.
I'm going to forget her first and last name now.
Marie?
Yes. Yes.
It's not right there,
Yeah.
but it was in your report.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have had some wonderful daughters who, in the memory of their mother, have been made a donation the last couple of years. They're funding our Discovery Pass, the circulation of our Discovery Pass, and then they're also funding certain presentations and some books as well. So
That's wonderful. I did notice also that, like, the top of that page, the report dates are August, but then when some of these pages, they're September. So, and I think, was there one that had both months combined too? Was that a little hard to understand how these all work together?
So we didn't have a September meeting, so they ran the August report and then they ran the September report, and that's why.
That's the
May I just ask if a patron uses those passes? Is that name acknowledged as they use?
It is.
Thank you.
Yep, we actually have a tag that circulates with the pass, and it says in honor of Irene Murray.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's terrific. Okay, any other items? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Oh, so we say aye for vote? Oh, that's the time delay. Oh, I think we have... Everybody's saying yes. Correct. Do we? Do I assume that?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. All right, so the motion passes unanimously. All righty, now we're going to get to the President's report, and the President has nothing to say, which is always unusual. And then the Director's report is yours, Brittany or I.
The Friends made $467 at Culver's Night. It was the staff designed a flyer and handed it out to a bunch of people. It was so well utilized that we broke Culver's. They had to close the drive-through. And there were maybe a few other factors going on there, but I've been joking with the Friends that they broke Culver's. So that's great. That's a good, for a couple of hours time. That's a good haul. Let's see here. We started up Atlas again, and we're working with the Muskego, Norway robotics team called Warrior Bots, and they've been doing a couple of programs at the library as well, so that's been a fun collaboration. We have our Monster Mash Halloween party for the kids and families in late November. And Emma is doing a Bad Guys party, which is, there's a children's book series called Bad Guys, and so it's going to be a themed party for that as well. So we're excited to get some of those new things out there. Amanda has created a Scooby-Doo villain scavenger hunt for the teens in the library. And I encourage you to look for the swamp monsters specifically because the monsters have the heads of staff on them. And I am the swamp monster, so if you ever wanted to know what I might look like as a swamp monster, there I am.
Are they on display now?
Yeah, they're hidden throughout the library. She really is going to make you work for it.
Through the whole library?
Yes, through the whole library. Yeah, the teens have to work for it. The kids, their scavenger hunts are just in the kids' area, but the teens have to go throughout. She also has 2 haunted break-in bags, which are like mini escape rooms. That's all the puzzles, but it's in a folder with a bunch of locks, and you have to try to solve all the puzzles. And there's candy inside if you can get to it. Let's see. We made 102 cards for September Get a Library Card Month. One of the things that we did, one of the goals that I had was to, from you all for the year, was to try to figure out ways to emphasize our non-book resources. And so one of the things that we did every time somebody came up to the CERC desk is we said to them, tell us about something non-book related that you like about the library. And then we posted those all up on the board, and it was interesting to read them afterwards. If you haven't seen the paintings that are now hung up in the circulation area, they are just gorgeous. They're from Muskego, circa like 1930s or so, painted by Carrie Volhurst, and really cool. Like just maybe scenes you either, I don't know, really cool. Highly recommend it. And they're seasonal. We're going to switch them out for another couple in the spring. So I think it'll bring some fun, dynamic energy, and it really has such a strong connection to Muskego and some nostalgia to
Did someone donate those?
Thank you.
A long time ago. They were in storage for a while, and then we were like, we got to get these hung up on the walls. So, yeah. So a special thank you to George for hanging them, and we're really excited. Patrons have had a good time looking at them. Let's see here. November board meetings, November 21st. Let me know if you can attend, because that'll be the first draft of the strategic plan that you'll be seeing. So that'll be fun and exciting.
That's Thanksgiving week, right?
It is Thanksgiving week. It's also when the personnel committee will be asking you for feedback about me. So if you don't think you can make it, it would be very helpful to know as far in advance as possible, because if I have to reschedule those types of things, that's okay. I mean, give me more time. I love getting more time to do things, but I just need to know if we're not going to have a quorum. So, let's see, Friends of the Library, their next First Friday coffee is November 3rd at 9:30 a.m.
If you're cooking, speak now.
Yeah, I do have a question.
Okay.
What was the consensus on changing what you had originally proposed for the
About the personnel
Yeah,
committee?
I never got any.
I have not gotten back to you guys yet, because I was reaching out to HR to ask if the evaluation forms for employees would be ready by then.
Oh, okay.
So I will follow up with you very soon.
We do need that, I think, to be more streamlined.
Yep. And she said that shouldn't be a problem, but I just want to follow up with her. So, but I will make a note to follow up with her, to follow up with you.
Thanks.
Yeah. So November 3rd is the next First Friday coffee.
Can I go back up just
Of course.
one? The RFID tagging, how
Mhm.
is that going? Because it just says they're doing it every time they can.
Yep, it's going well. We have been taking about 2,000 items a day.
wow.
Really, once summer reading ended, it was a good opportunity to be able to actually find that time. So we're taking about 2,000 items not a day.
I was like, dang.
Hold on, yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. That is not correct.
It can be done.
A week, 2,000 a week. We have been taking. I have been in some very vibrant discussions with our Envisionware company about setting up a date to get the gates installed. it was December and now it's January, which is fine because we still have a little bit more time to take then. So the gates should be installed on January 15th and 16th, I think, if that's the Wednesday, Thursday, mid-month. And then we'll be live. You're going to start to see staff using the RFID pads to check things out in December because as I was talking with other libraries, one of the things they told me was if you don't turn off the security on the tags as you're checking them out, but before the gates get installed, everything that comes back, the security will be activated and your gates will beep for like weeks as those things are coming back. So,
I apologize. I didn't shut it off.
So anyway, that is coming up. And yeah, so that's the RFID tag update. We're getting there. I will be thrilled. Everyone will be thrilled to be done. So. Let's see. We have our Santa's Booked at the Library Santa event and Friends fundraiser coming up December 2nd from 10 to 2. Everyone should come. There will be a Friends bake sale. They're going to be selling books. Mrs. Claus is also coming this year, which is, exciting. So that's going on with the Friends. The building updates are complicated. The contract tag that I've been doing between us and the attorney and the architect and the contractor, there's lots of complications to it, and I just promise you that I'm working on it persistently. It's just, there's a lot going on with it. We're getting closer to a final contract. The study rooms, as you know, we got no bids, and I am now speaking with a couple of different firms to figure out where we go from here, like what would it cost to get architectural contracts, and I have a few other ideas that I will bring to you guys in a little bit. I'm just not ready to talk more about that, but I just met with another company today, and they gave me 2 different unique ideas, different approaches to go with that might get us what we need. So that.
Oh, gosh. Can I just say I'm missing something?
Yeah.
Like that meeting today, was that with people who could build them or people who are trying to tell you how to get business in? Just want to make sure I understand.
It was a design build firm, so
okay, so it's somebody who could build it.
They could, but we have to take the project to bid.
Mm-hmm.
So they were here to give me feedback about the construction costs, about what it would cost to get architectural renderings. We first positioned this as a design build, meaning the contractor would both do the design and build. I was talking with the city and they thought, I think this is a project that will work well with a design build, but then we just didn't get any bids. So I'm trying to look at all the different options and then I will present those to you. We could take it out for bid again and see if we get lucky, but I think at this point I'm not feeling very confident about that. So I would like to present to you guys a bunch of different options. So more on that, I would say next month. And I'm just going to call out section F on packet page 17. I'm not going to go over this in details, but one of the requests from the board from me as a goal was to provide more updates about the action plan throughout the year, not just at the end. And so, as you recall, I've been doing a lot of the strategic plan updates about the bathrooms, the study rooms, marketing, staff training, things like that. But I've been, in the last couple of board reports, also putting in those action plans and the updates on those that are those other topics. I'm not going to read through them, but if you have any questions about them, you can always, contact me. So.
For letter II, you didn't finish your sentence.
Oh.
The last sentence.
Yeah. I'm also meeting with DPW to actually assess how much longer we can stretch out the parking lot if we can. Okay. So I'm trying to do the due diligence of figuring out, what will it cost? Mm-hmm. A couple of years ago, I was told end of life would be 2025. But, maybe we can get lucky and stretch some more out of it. And so while I am figuring out what the current costs would be for the project, I am also talking with DPW to say, like, how does this look? Do you feel like you can continue to patch the parking lot in these problem areas that we have? Can we stretch it out a couple more years? So maybe if we get lucky, it won't be a project we have to try to ask for money for. So I have not met with them yet. They did a walkthrough of the parking lot, and they're going to meet with me. So. And that's all I have. But again, if you ever have any additional questions, even off the meeting, you can always email me about my report or anything else. You know I love to talk. So.
I'd say you're keeping pretty busy. Alrighty then. I think, anything else, Brittany? Okay, hearing nothing, we can move on to unfinished business. First item is discussion of the library board library board focus group. I'm assuming you want to do everything.
Yeah, so this is just, I've been running focus groups the last couple of months, and I just wanted to ask you guys some of the same questions, just in case you had any additional feedback for me. Some of you have already gone to focus groups, and thank you so much if you were there. Some of you may have answered the library survey. Great. So I just wanted to take no more than, I would say, 20 minutes, because we could talk forever. But I just wanted to ask you some questions. And they're the same focus group questions that I've asked other folks. So, my first question is, which library services do you feel are most beneficial to you? You know what, not everyone has to answer, like any focus group. Some people don't have to answer certain questions. It's just, spread the word, I'll take notes. So.
Children's programming.
I would second that. Adult programming.
Yeah.
Books on tape.
Books on tape.
Books and prints.
Express books.
For Brittany, for
Yes.
myself, it's more like the amenities that you guys have, so like the rooms and then copying and study rooms.
Great. Okay. Thank you. Yep. Okay. Anything else?
My kids love the little, like the question of the month and the scavenger hunts and so not like you don't go to the a lot of the ton programming, some of the, once a month or once a year stuff, but
yeah,
they love all that little, it really engages them when they're here after they get their 20 books and they're like, Mom, I want to do the scavenger hunt.
Scavenger hunt and would you rather. Okay. Very good.
I would just like to say nothing about the physical plant here, but many friends know that I'm on the library board, and there's so much praise for our library.
Excellent.
It's just, I haven't heard a negative thing about this place for years.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Okay.
A lot of praise.
That's good.
I like being able to order books and have them shipped from other libraries.
Yeah.
I love that.
I agree.
I don't even mind driving to New Berlin. When they find it there,
Yeah.
I don't mind going to get it. Just the service of them finding it for me.
Right. Yeah, and having it sitting on the shelf.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Waiting for you.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think our library is highly respected. Highly.
And it's nice too that when you have things due, they'll send you a text message.
Yeah. Text notifications are huge. That was one of the top rated methods of communication in the strategic planning process. So.
I hate it. I'm sorry, people, but
That's
it's
fair.
my age. I know it's my age.
The text messages.
That's why we have multiple ways to
But
get a hold of
can't you opt out of that?
Well,
Can you opt out?
I'm thinking of
Yeah.
family, because there's no emotion or anything, just.
Well, it's just the courtesy thing.
Boys.
Everything does that now, though. All your doctors.
That's why I say it's my
everything.
age.
right.
Yeah.
It's my age.
I won't text you that.
I want to see your pretty face.
All right, so I'm going to skip to the next question, but this is exactly the type of thing that I'm looking for. How do you currently get information about the library? Like in terms of marketing, information, like what's your sort of primary?
I like the calendar.
Like the print
Yeah,
calendar?
I get it in my hand, yeah.
Okay.
And I think Friends mails out or emails out the calendar.
They
I get
do,
it that
yep.
way. And also, I love the fact that you let us, or me know when there's a talk over here.
Oh.
Brittany, for me, it's social media.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I was saying the
Social
same
media,
thing.
you said?
I see it on
Social me-
Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And Barb, do you get like the email notices about programs?
Yeah.
What you're talking about? Okay.
And they're good reminders because they send them out more than once, right at the beginning.
Oh, sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
I never signed up for that.
All right. Okay. What would bring you to the library more? Is there something that you wish we had more of, or that maybe we're missing, or you're like, oh, the library has X, that would get me in the building?
I don't know, maybe movies or when I was on the foundation over in Greenville, they sort of prided themselves on being more of that kind of a library where there was more current things.
Okay.
We
I
have
don't-
movies. We have movies that are not well attended.
No,
And
Do you
I
mean
told them-
matinees, or do you mean like to check
No,
out
I
movies?
mean-
Oh, to
check out.
check out.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And do we pride ourselves on being a certain genre of what we provide like they did? I don't know if they still feel that way because
Yeah.
libraries change over the
Yeah,
years.
that's interesting. I wouldn't say that we have such a heavy focus in one area, although I would say that, I wouldn't say that necessarily.
And it may not be a good thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's what the community wanted evidently, so.
Yeah.
What else? What else would bring you guys to the library more?
Brittany, I like the escape rooms.
Oh, yep. It's coming. It's coming, Tracy. I promise. I promise.
Okay, good.
Never used them.
In the summer, they had that intergenerational craft. That was,
Oh, yeah.
we really enjoyed that.
Yep. Yeah, those were cool.
I think I'm trying to make every speaker you have over here. I mean, I think your presenters that have things and they're not well attended. I feel badly about that because so many of them are really worthwhile.
We've been studying the data and the marketing responses that people gave us in strategic planning. You'll hear more about this when you see the strategic plan, but let's just say that the communication section is full of ideas, so.
How about something like more exhibits? And what I mean by that is I really enjoy like when the kids' artwork is up.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
different things that,
Women's Club did that for so many years.
Mhm.
We cannot get the teachers to cooperate. No offense here. We can't
Mhm.
get the art teachers to cooperate.
Okay.
They don't have the time
Mhm.
to spend on that. But we used to have
It takes a lot of time.
huge art shows
Mhm.
sponsored by the Women's Club.
Yeah. And I'm not sure what it would be, but, if there's a traveling exhibit going around somewhere or
We
just
do that a
something
lot.
like that.
We do that a lot here.
Yeah, so the kids' student art shows, we do have a lot. It would be fun to have a more like an adult art show here. That would be interesting.
And it doesn't even have to be an art show. I'm just saying that you're asking
Yeah.
what would bring me in, and
Mhm.
it would be really interesting to have different exhibits on occasion to look
I
at.
suppose if you had things that were more open-ended about when you come and things, like for speakers, it's just,
You're stuck
you
on
need to be there
Yeah.
at that moment.
Mhm.
Well, this is a great opportunity to say that in November we have the Wisconsin Historical Society bringing their large Wisconsin Veterans display of the Vietnam War. It's really big. It's not
Different
kind of like
things
the honor
that.
flight one that we had several years ago. So that's going to be in the great room, and we have such a great large space to do those types of exhibits. So I will make a note of that. It would be fun to see what else the historical society could drop off.
I don't
on her.
expect us to be a museum, but, you know, on
No.
occasion,
Well,
if we did this, I don't know what, once a quarter or
Yeah,
twice a
I
year or
love that
whatever, that would bring me
Yeah,
in.
I think it's a great
different
idea.
things like
How,
that.
how about, and maybe we've tried this in the past, coffee and a snack of some kind, coffee and donuts and.
You mean more than what the
Friday
friends do once a month?
But the friends do it just for the friends, it's not open to the
No,
public.
it's open to everybody.
Yeah, anyone can go. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, first Friday,
Oh,
first
Yeah.
Friday or something.
Yeah, we.
and I'm gonna stop paying my dues soon.
I
I'm teasing.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's open to the
But a little,
public, I
like a
think.
little cafe bar,
Sure.
where patrons could just, I don't know if you'd have coffee spilled all over the nice carpeting. I know that has
Well,
to be
don't look at me,
looked
but
into.
I'd be the first one.
So what I'm hearing is you would financially support the library getting donuts consistently and putting them next to me.
Oh, that reminds me.
Oh, carry them.
Donuts.
Remember when there would be the story time on Saturdays?
Yeah.
Oh,
With
yeah.
donuts
Yep,
and
yep.
juice. and
Yeah,
everything?
you missed that, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That was wonderful.
Yep.
But that
There
was
would be
free.
like a little crowd.
That was free.
Yeah, it was
I
free
mean,
for,
let's have
and
a,
everyone got a book.
Oh, you're talking about having a bar
and
with
buy
five.
coffee and buy a donut.
We discussed that once, didn't we, years ago?
Yeah, you know, my concern at the time was pillaging from vintage grounds. They're so close to us, and they can do it so much better than us.
They're so small.
Can
Yeah,
have
but you
more
can
than
get it to go.
8 people in there at one time.
What I am writing down is that maybe it would be nice to have coffee during certain programs. Like maybe for some of our bigger presenters, we could have coffee and coffee in the program. That might be at least a fun start. And if it seems like it's really popular, then maybe we hit on something.
And you brought up the friends. The friends, you don't pay for the coffee. I'm thinking of a little kiosk where you can come in and buy a cup of coffee.
Yeah, but she doesn't want to compete with our local.
And there were other
Stores.
reasons for it, like
Well,
health
it doesn't get
department
people
or
off the
something
street,
too,
though.
I remember, because we did talk about.
Yeah,
Yeah, you might have to have
Oh.
a special license or something.
Yeah, there was
Right.
another
Yeah.
reason where we delved into it and
We looked at the
we decided it
Keurig,
wasn't worth
but
it.
having to clean it
Yeah.
for the members of the public, and what if they got sick? I went to a really
Yeah.
shady vending machine place once, and I looked at a coffee machine, and I decided that, first of all, it would have been really expensive, and second of all, the coffee it would have produced would have been so unfortunate, I feel, that
Yeah.
I just,
You bring your thermos and sell.
Nancy's sitting outside on our Adirondack chair.
No, they steal furniture outside. I'd stay inside.
All right, let's see here. Is there anything that prevents you from using the library, or anything that you wish could be improved, I guess?
Brittany,
Yes,
open on Sundays.
open on Sundays. All right, writing it down.
Yeah, I think that might be helpful too, actually, for some people.
Yeah. That was a question on the strategic planning survey, so I will talk with you all more about that, because it's obviously not, it's not a simple topic. So, but yes, I'll chat with you all more about it.
I was really surprised when I heard that some libraries are open on Sundays because
Yeah.
I thought
In our bridge.
that never happened.
The bigger
Yeah.
ones, Waukesha, New Berlin,
And Brookfield, I think.
yep, Brookfield, yep. What else?
Brittany, even if you like focus on after morning time, like just 12 to 4, 12 to 5, because people usually go to church in the morning,
Right.
but I feel like just like that afternoon time would have been nice to have.
Yeah. I wrote that down, and definitely I will have a conversation. I'll show you guys the data from the survey, and I'll talk to you guys about the benefits and the drawbacks of it, because there would be a cost to it, so we would have to evaluate that. So, what else? What else do you have for me? Director's not charismatic enough.
No, not at all. Actually, it's kind of for the last thing. So the evening programming is often for adults, which makes sense, but maybe more like
family-oriented things. Like, I took my kids and my mom to the Gaelic Harper, and they loved it. Like, live music, and he makes his own thing, and talked about how he makes the, the instruments and stuff. Like, maybe more things where people are showing you their skill set, like their what they do and how they do it, or play an instrument or whatever. I know we're not a concert hall or whatever, but I'm just saying, like, little demonstrations, where kids and adults might be interested, rather than just kid programming and adult programming and not a whole lot of mix.
The night that we had
I
the
agree.
harvest, it was packed.
I don't go to some things because my little kids will not sit nicely.
Right.
So
maybe for bigger kids on up. I don't know, just like more mixed stuff that might be of interest to both, because I would totally bring them to more stuff.
Have you ever done like a study of attendance of things during the day versus the evening? Because I'll tell you, I have so many meetings at night, and I've had to miss so many of the good things that you have because of conflicts. Do they attend during the day, adults, or?
Most of our education programs are in the evening. I would say every now and then we have maybe like a Medicare workshop or something like that. But most of the education programs are in the evening to try to capture, but that's to capture working and, non-working folks. But that is interesting to me because I wonder if maybe sometimes we could offer like 2 shows in one day, so to speak.
Yeah, because I know that there were like 3 things this month I would have loved to see.
Yeah.
But
maybe if it was something short, you could do it like on lunchtime.
Yeah, like a lunch and learn.
But a real short one.
Yeah.
Then you're pulling in a whole different group of people.
Right.
I mean, I don't think that the evening ones are that well attended. What do you think? I mean, there may be a dozen people at the most.
Yeah, I think it depends on the topic, definitely, between 12 and 25. There would have to be a balance, I think, because, of course, I mean, it's hard enough when you're working, and then if we've also put it at, 10 or 11 o'clock, then we've really stripped out a large portion of our community.
But I have to admit, most of the people I see there are older people. They aren't the working people at those evening ones.
And I think that's the question is, is that age group not interested in programming? Are they doing scouting events and athletics and things like that? Because when we were reading the survey and talking to the non-users, and we said, why don't you use us? It wasn't because they didn't think we were valuable. It wasn't because they, thought we were smelly. It's because they don't have time. And so the question is, how do we create an accessible library for people who are that busy? And maybe it's virtual programs, maybe it's a program that we can record, maybe, maybe we do some, maybe it's lunch and learns. I think there's a lot of things to think about that we may want to experiment with. So
and I think with the seniors, there's so many that talk to me about not driving.
Especially in the
And a lot don't want to go at night either after a certain age with the eyesight and things like that too. So.
One thing we haven't had for a while, and I'm assuming the former person either is retired or doesn't do it anymore, is an appraiser. Okay, because I would think that would cover a number of age groups as what. Perhaps I don't want to say better than something else, but
I just went to one through our bank. She was fantastic, really wonderful.
Like appraising like objects.
Like we used to have the man where we bring a thing.
He did retire. What's the name of your person?
I don't know. I have the info at home.
Get them for me because I thought I found someone, but they live in Pennsylvania, so
that's a long walk.
This gal was amazing, and she stood around after and talked to people and was really.
I would love to get that person name because we have been wanting to get. That was a very
that's got a very universal appeal too. I think to all age groups and.
Yeah, she had about 30 people out.
I'm not surprised, and maybe even set up appointments or something. I don't know if that's a good idea or not.
Did we do that a few years ago?
There was and if you said his name, I remember.
Mark Moran?
Yeah.
Yes, and he was very nice and good. But he lived out too, and
he did too.
He really wanted to have somebody come to his house when their house when it came in,
Yeah.
make the trip worthwhile. So, but she's in Waukesha, so.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
She's just opening or moving her shop, and she had so much referral information. If you have jewelry, go here. If you have,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, that'd be really fun. Yeah, I would love
All
to
right,
get that
I
info
will get
from
that
you.
for you.
Okay, I'm just trying to catch up. Turns out I don't do shorthand.
And also in that realm, I mean, there are people like that are coin experts out there, you know, that if nothing else could just talk about what they do,
Yeah.
not necessarily appraise people's
Mhm.
coins, but
Yeah, Milwaukee.
What to look for.
what to look for,
Milwaukee,
you know, like the
yeah.
coin's condition is everything, I mean, that we all, I think, probably kind of know that, but, or what are the rarest coins out there, or just, because some people could have them at home.
That sounds like a kind of like maybe a program that might be of interest, like coins, rare coins that might be of interest to
My kids would be like,
Yeah,
"What are
trying to
stamps?
think
What's
of things
stamps?"
that have broader, you know,
Yeah.
broader
Yeah.
appeal.
My husband
Stamp
has full
collectors,
collections.
I mean,
Yeah.
that maybe is a long type one,
I
but,
don't know.
and in that realm, I'm
She's not
saying
talking
this
to me
is
this week
possible.
because I brought
But
some.
are there like Muskego residents, if you send out something or whatever, do you have an unusual hobby? And, you know, like maybe have
I wonder
people.
what I get back.
Yeah, well, you don't know. But like, I
Right.
collect miniature shoes. I've been told I have like one of the top 10 collections in the country.
No.
Wow.
So, you know, and I would be bringing them all in or anything like that, but there might be some niches out there of people who live here. And that could be more like a display, it doesn't necessarily have to be a presentation. But, like something, like maybe just ask the Muskego citizens.
Legal hobby?
Yeah, get one that looks
Yes,
like it's
legal
made out of
would be
skin.
good.
So
We're
again,
accepting
somebody
adult
coming
now.
from Muskego might have broader appeal.
We had to say, no, we can't
than
talk to
that
your
would-
neighbor. Yeah.
That's interesting, Gail, unusual hobbies, or you know, may get
Or
little
collections,
little
or.
clubs to form, you know, somebody on arrowheads, and, you know, there's all kinds of interesting things to have people speak on.
Cookie jars, I mean, people collect
Yeah.
all different kinds of things.
I'll donate mine.
Okay, it is 5:45. You guys have been amazing. I wrote it all down.
You got
I'm sure
it.
I'll be able to read it later. So yeah, I will compile all this data and put it in amongst all my other data. And and again, you strategic planning and I will meet at some point. Yes.
Can I just ask one more thing?
Yes.
Unless you're ready to do it or not. Do you reach out to local retirement communities to let them know what's happening? Because they always have shuttles to
Yeah,
do
we have
things.
sent them flyers. We send them
Okay.
flyers, or we often send
Because
it.
they
Yeah.
could show people, right?
Yeah, many times,
Yeah.
right, talk to them.
Actually, Heritage, no, not Heritage. What's
Regency.
Stony Creek? No, the
Regency.
new one.
Staircrest.
Staircrest. There we go. Staircrest has been bringing their bus over to our programs.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been a really fun group to work with.
All right.
Okay, so again, you know, you can always pass along ideas. Your strategic planning and I will be discussing some things. We're gonna refine it a bit, and then you'll see a draft of the strategic plan in November. So that's it for the focus group. Thank you, everyone.
Well, now that we know we're sufficiently amazing, we can move on to new business. And under that is one item for tonight, and that is a discussion of the board education on trustee essentials, Chapter 14, Open Meetings Law. And I'm kind of a geek. I found it somewhat interesting, actually, and there were things I did not know about how you have to, like, record the vote, and you're supposed to do a poll members as far as when you do the motion to go into closed session, which I had no clue about, so there were a few nuggets in there anyway.
Yeah, and you know, honestly, if anyone wants to talk about any particular topic, I just wanted, you know, one of my jobs is to provide board education. I do that in my director report each month. That's one of my goals. But then also, we often have such busy meetings that we don't have time to do education, and so I just wanted to provide one of these chapters for you guys to be able to read.
Could you just look at page 18? Now this is the old one, because I have it all marked.
Yep.
So
What are we?
I don't know what it is.
What's the header of
And the
the?
header is legal reasons for conducting a closed session.
Yes. Yep. That's packet page 22 for you new packet people.
Okay, the old one is 18. I don't, as I read through it, I'm thinking, isn't this an internal process when if there's somebody in the building that you're not happy with, you're gonna take care of that.
Yep.
Not us.
Yeah, correct. So, First of all, you could go into closed session if you were unhappy about me, right? So that would be a reason for you to go into closed session. If there were, normally the goal, right, is that you hire me, I hire the staff, I manage the staff. However, if there was a grievance that was lodged against the library, right, if somebody from the staff were wanting to file that grievance, we might have to go into closed session to talk about that.
Where would they file a grievance?
They'd probably contact the library board president.
They wouldn't go to City Hall?
You know what, or they would contact HR, and then HR would probably reach out to the
I don't
board
think that's ever happened in
Wouldn't it also
long.
happen in circumstance, let's say a patron comes in and they feel one of the staff members has been rude, and then you go into closed session on that kind of thing too,
Honestly,
would you
it
or
really
not?
shouldn't get to that level.
Okay.
If a patron is upset with a staff member, I would be
You
handling
would
that.
handle
It really,
that,
it would be for matters related to staffing, and it could be positive too. Maybe you're talking about like, my evaluation. That's what we typically go into closed session for, to talk about my goals, to talk about my performance, to talk about, positives, negatives, to consider, should I get, the full merit increase, things like that. So that's typically what we go into closed session for. They listed a few other examples, but
When I was on the CDA, the Community Development Authority, we used a number of these, whether it was for legal, if we were going to be sued for something or whatever, and fiscal or financial things, we'd get bids or have to decide on a loan or whether to put a location in a blighted area that would make a difference legally. So we have a number of those. But it got me thinking, is there ever going to be, or would there ever be an opportunity where we would meet under any other exception? For an example, you want to discuss 3 bids we got on the big bathroom remodel, should that ever happen? Would that happen, or do you feel that that's also your administrative function?
I don't know if we would go into closed session to discuss bids. That's more of an open session.
Because we did it quite often.
Did
That was
you?
and just to discuss which one, and very different topics though, so maybe it does not qualify here. That's why I'm asking the question, because we did major projects.
My memory that the city attorney told me in the past year was, because I tend to, if it's something new, really, we've only ever gone into closed session to discuss my evaluation, but I remember him saying once, be very careful about going into closed session, right? Like, you really want to make sure that it fits within the statute, because otherwise you very much would be violating the open meeting law. And my reason actually for bringing this chapter before you is, we're doing all these things, but, every month one of the things is statement of public notice. And I just wanted you guys to, sort of see the background behind, like, why we do it, the open meeting law that exists.
And my understanding is this is the most litigated thing, is the open meetings
I can
question.
see that.
And I'm not talking about even in our area, but in general, this is one where the presumption is it should be public.
Yeah. And
So,
a couple of other things to call out, you have to have, the meeting has to be noticed at least 24 hours in advance.
Yep, there's a lot.
a lot.
I've got 99 underlines here.
Yeah. Yeah,
There were nuggets in here.
I always try to get the board packet to you guys on a Thursday or a Friday so that you have the weekend. In theory, I wouldn't have to get it to you until, Monday at,
By 5.
thank you, at 5 o'clock.
I appreciate that.
But I try to give the weekend. But 24 hours notice, except an emergency. But I think you really have to justify that emergency, and it would, you don't want to be called out on fake emergencies. And then the other thing that maybe you see me do a lot that maybe we haven't had a name for is the walking quorum. That's why, especially email. That's why I always, if I send you guys an email, I blind carbon copy it so you can't accidentally reply all.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
So
Same thing with aldermen. We have the same.
Same thing.
And if we're all invited to something, just like the library thing,
Yep.
you got to be careful of making sure if everyone's there that you don't have a quorum
Right.
all of a sudden.
Yep.
So.
or you notice that there may be a group attending a forum, but that no business will be discussed. Yeah, and that's important. So.
And there was something about that.
Brittany,
Yes.
I just gotta jump off, just so you
Okay.
guys know.
Yeah. Thanks, Tracy.
Hopefully I don't hurt me.
Yep.
Bye. Have a good night.
Bye.
Happy Halloween.
Yes, bye-bye. Thanks, you too.
That, and I know we do it, but I didn't know if it was something we had to do, is to, we can't go back into closed session without it being, on the, agenda, according to what I read in here. Let's see where that was.
That you have to vote to go back in the closed session?
Yeah, but we
I mean,
can't, we can't, if it's not on the agenda, we cannot come back. Okay, and we've done it, but, just, there's a few little nuggets in here that, and what I was looking for is, looks like we're supposed to take not a voice vote, but poll everybody for the vote of legally going into closed session. Did anybody else see that, or am I dreaming?
I have so many things
One of the
underlined here
parts.
that.
The chief presenting officer must announce to all present at the meeting the intention of going into closed session and the purpose.
Number 5. Number 5.
Okay.
I'm sorry, where are we?
Number 5 on page 23, I think is that.
It's the list of, it's the procedures list for holding a closed session.
Mm-hmm.
Going into closed session requires a motion, a second, and a roll call vote.
Roll call vote.
I'll double check with the city attorney on that to see if that's a recommendation or, yeah. I'll double check on that.
Okay, there you go.
I'm trying to think of when we go into closed session, I don't recall doing roll call.
Yeah.
Because we've already done roll call
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning.
at the beginning,
Right.
in the meeting,
I'll double check.
and then we just walk into another room.
But it has a purpose, because if somebody doesn't feel that went into closed session properly, they're on record as voting not to do it. There is a reason for it as you read through the items.
Right.
Okay, so I would read this perhaps a little more carefully.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it. Now, in theory, they would vote nay, and then they'd be on record.
And they would be on record as,
You do vote. in
Yeah.
closed session.
and so that's why I guess the roll call vote is necessary.
I'll check, because a roll call is literally calling out each name.
Right.
I'll check.
And the odds of it not being unanimous are slim to none, but you never know what could come up. So, and I'd rather be in compliance than not.
Oh, for sure.
That's all you, it's not done yet.
Nancy, I can keep going. I'm done. I'm done.
Motion to adjourn?
How many minutes do I have?
There's no communications and miscellaneous
Okay, there we go.
stuff.
And so we can move to adjournment. Anybody choose to make a motion to adjourn?
I just did.
I didn't hear you, sorry. Yes, I'm looking for a second.
I second.
Oh, thank you, Carrie. All those in favor?
Aye.
I think we got a unanimous vote without a roll call.
All right.
And we are adjourned at 5:56. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye, have a nice evening.
Bye, Tony.
Bye.